Hello guys, Frank is back, and today in my English speaking video, I've produced one or two also in German. I will present you my brand new KTM 390 Adventure behind me. So this is not only a car channel, this is also a motorcycle channel where I present some experiences and give you some hints about motorcycles. And today I want to give you some hints about this motorcycle in the background. So why I've bought this motorcycle in addition to my Honda Africa Twin, I thought I want to go back to the roots maybe for a season or two. Maybe you also began in the 80s or the 90s with a small bike, with a small motorcycle with 500 CCM and 30 horsepower or 35 or 40 or around that. And you imagine it was a very nice time, because right now motorcycles and motorcycles and adventure bikes and other bikes are gonna be heavier and heavier and heavier, and dual sport bikes also. And that was a reason to have a look on that bike, and I was so impressed about that bike that I bought it without a test ride tour before or having a seat on that. And I've got 50 kilometers, means 30 miles on the auto right now. It's brand new. And yeah, and also to my American buddies, when you're interested in that bike, I think I've read that it will be launched also in the US and Canada and North America in May. Right now, we've got mid of May 2020. And what is special about that bike? It's a world bike. It's for KTM, a world bike. That means in every country where you can buy KTMs, you will get this bike, you will get spare parts for that bike and so on. And that make it very interesting when you are playing or planning maybe some international holidays or so on with that bike. So you can get spare parts everywhere. Maybe this bike is produced for Asian market and Latin America market, where 390 CCM is huge, so huge, and where are other bikes too expensive for the people who live there. So 390 means that it's the top of the motorcycle range, maybe in India. Yeah? Okay, you've got there the Enfield 500, but for an adventure bike, a dual sport bike, it's some of the biggest ones in India maybe. Yeah. So this bike is also produced in India due to cost reduction reasons, and it has 44 horsepower and 373 CCM. It's very light. It weighs only 180, roughly 180 or 170 and a little bit kilos with a full gas tank. And don't expect a fast bike or so on. Yeah, I drove yesterday in the evening a little bit. You have to shift down and up and down and up because you need RPM. Much RPM that you can get some horsepower out of the box here. And yeah, let me show you what is that. And it's a little bike. It has a seat height of 85 centimeters, and sorry guys, you have to calculate it in inch or whatever. In the non-metric market, I don't know which feet or inch 85 centimeters are. It's a little bit small for me, so I try to get another seat here. It's a little bit higher, maybe 3 or 5 centimeters. And it's a modern bike. You get much technique for your money. You have a cornering ABS, you have a traction control, you have it's very nice here. You have looking like a mobile phone. Yeah, you have your auto here, very digital with everything and so on here inside. Also connection with your mobile. You can split, I think so, navigation apps, but I don't know exactly right now, but it's very interesting. And you've got an upside down fork here, full adjustable, 43 millimeter. You got LED headlights complete, It's a daylight here, and when I start the bike, you can also see that it's a full LED headlight here, and it's interesting here, the kind of cinema here in the front. And some accessory parts are here mounted, which are not original, like what's the English name for that? I forgot it right now. But this is a penny holder, I know. I've got some penny holders here for some little panniers. And it's very interesting. It has alloy wheels due to cost reductions reasons, not spoke wheeled. I think that's the only frog at this case that is not spoke. That you have not spoke wheels here, but also you haven't an aluminium guard here. It's plastic, but maybe for the reason to get a bike back to the roots driving and doing some things on gravel roads. I think it's a good bike, but don't expect high-end manufacturing item. Just 2 examples here. Yeah? It's manufactured in India. Yeah? So maybe it says all. Yeah, you've got an here. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's a little bit cheap. Yeah, cheap mounted. Yeah, or cheap developed or cheap engineered. And also, you've got the windshield. It's mounted with 1 screw. Yeah, it's shaking also in the wind. And yesterday I put some silicone here between the screen and the frame because it was so shaking, and there were some noises in, and okay, it's not high end here, but it has a good shape here with the headlight in some aggressive style here, or aggressive style type. And yeah, what I can say, it's price. You get it for the price roughly, I think also in the American market, for $6,000. That's roughly the same price as in Europe. I've paid 6.5 roughly in dollar, means 5,900, 6,000 euros plus the accessory parts here. And yeah, it's maybe a laugh for one season. Yeah, so it's not comparable with my touring bike with the Africa Twin I've got, but the price of the Africa Twin is 2.5 times more than that. So you have to expect also some cost reduction, not high-end mounted things here. Yeah, it's also like that. When you see that here, it's plastic. Yeah, where your feet is, it's plastic. That is plastic. Many things are from plastic here. No, it's also not comparable with the BMW 650 Zetar or Dakar, but the Zetar or Dakar are old bikes, and this got every technique, or mainly the technique which you can get or which you expect today. Like I mentioned, the cornering, ABS, and the traction control, and the LED headlights and LED turn lights also, and LED backlights. It's completely LED, and also the Odo completely digital. So I will give you an update when I have tried some travels here nearby, or going on some gravel roads, and also want to compare it then with a feeling on my Honda Africa Twin. And then I give you an update, and until now, if you're interested in motorcycles and you want to have a cheap bike, maybe for urban rides, for gravel rides, not so, as I mentioned, not so expensive, try it out. Go to your KTM dealer and have a seat, but don't expect much power. And that was the last thing I want to describe. 44 horsepower. You need RPMs. You have to ride between 4,000 and 6,500 RPMs. That it's a comfortable rear where you get the horsepower out of the engine, out of the box, in best case on the rear wheel. And if you want to compare, I've just had a look in the technical description. The horsepower of 44 comes out at 9,000 RPMs here, and when I compare it with the BMW 650 ZTAU, the BMW has only 3 or 4 horsepower more, but these horsepower come out at 6,000 RPMs. BMW 6,000 with 600 and a little bit CCM, and this with 373 ccm's 44 horsepower comes out at 9,000. So it's a little bit crying the engine when you are giving full throttle. And but when you don't want to drive higher than 100 kilometers an hour or 110, 115, that means, I think so, 75 miles, 80 miles, then it's a good bike. So I hope it was interesting and not so boring to you. A first introduction of the KTM 390 Adventure. And when you want to see more, maybe have a look or have a jump on the internet. There are some Indian guys having a little video collection there, but I think my video will be one of the first in Germany for a private owned KTM 390. There are a few tests online, but these are only journalists which having a bike for a few hours from their dealer. This is my bike, this is private owned, and I think it's the first video here in Germany and maybe also in Europe. And yeah, I think, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you guys in the US and Canada can get this bike also right now, I think up from May. Maybe you've got experience with that bike, and write it down in the comments. If you got questions, I will try to answer. And I hope you enjoy my little excursion here today to the KTM 390 Adventure. Thank you. Bye bye. Until next time.